Good morning, good morning, good morning. All righty. Ooh, I still have good morning. Hello, hello, hello. My voice is still waking up. Um, I actually just spent the past hour trying to figure out these other platforms to go live with. And I was pretty much just sitting on that live stream, staring at a screen, watching videos. And I was feeling like, oh, I shouldn't go live on YouTube. I don't need to go live. They're just gonna like for what? They're just gonna watch me staring at a computer. And I logged out of those live streams. I kept hitting a wall. And I was sitting here thinking like, okay, I didn't go live on YouTube. And then I kept looking at these I kept looking at these like videos on TikTok. And I kept thinking about like what I was thinking about this morning and praying about. And I was like, I keep like screaming and yelling like for my for my YouTube to take off. But here I am like skipping a day that I said I was going to go live on. Even if I had nothing to say, it's like I still need to show up because I don't know who it's going to impact either now in real time or in the future. And that's something I have to constantly remind myself to be present for not just my goals and my dreams, but the things I constantly like ask for. And I was about to not go live and I said, you know what? I'm just going to go live because I don't know who's going to need me to show up for this live stream or receive the messages that I'm saying or just even my presence, just being present and active with what I said I was going to do. So even though it's a little later than usual, I'm still, showing up. Hi, Mercy. Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for saying hi. Yeah, I almost didn't go live, but for those that are watching the replay, just a few things to recap from this week. It is Thursday. August is almost over. This year, like the older I get, the faster these years go by. And it's so interesting because as I've gotten older, I'm not doing a lot of things. Like I'm not outside every weekend. I'm not traveling like I used to. I've just been at home and, focused on, work and, just building out these creative uh, ventures and projects that I'm working on for you guys here. And it's still going by so, 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 so quickly. So taking full advantage of every opportunity you have to show up and just show up, whether you're prepared or not, because what you learn from that moment is what's going to what's going to create the opportunities for you to be more prepared in the future. And today I want you guys to make sure you go watch the interview that came out this weekend. I'm sorry, which I released on Monday with Stephanie Adair. I also created a playlist so you guys can watch all of the interviews I've done so far. More are on the way, but I that's a project that I was trying to expedite and just drop, interviews back to back to back to back, but I don't want to lose sight of the goal. Yes, I want to grow the channel. I want to, bring more eyes and attention to the channel. But at the same time, I don't want to lose myself in the process. I don't want to get too far away from the actual goal, which is to help people, not just to achieve numbers or hit milestones. Okay. I want to make sure that I don't lose sight of the people. And I think that even this morning, I lost sight of why I was going live. I was making it too technical. I was making it too formal, too official, when in actuality is like, I just need to be live, even if it's for 5 minutes or an hour. I just have to turn on the live. You guys can watch me work. It's my choice if I want to keep it public or unlisted after it's done. If I feel like, it's not worthy of being public, then that's my choice. But I got caught up in the, needing something to say all the time, which is funny because I didn't even plan on talking about this and here I am talking about this. So wherever you're at in the world, or whatever you're going through right now, your effort is really going to determine a lot of your outcomes. And effort doesn't always mean overexerting yourself. Effort simply means just making that one phone call or sending that one email. I have a long list of people I have to call today, mostly bill collectors. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm I got back into debt in my 40s and I'm only 42. I had been debt free for 10 years and life got to lifing, and my attitude towards what I was doing for work changed, but I also didn't have a backup plan to replace what I had lost or what I was losing. And I feel like now in the past couple of years I've been trying to rebuild what that looks like and recuperate from all the debt that I've accumulated over the years. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one going through this right now. So if you are watching the replay and you're going through a season of debt or limited access to resources or funds, like you're not the only one. You're not alone in this. We're in this together. I can't make money fast enough. It comes and it goes. It comes and it goes. It comes and it goes. And the calls get more frequent. The debts, the interest rates get, higher. And mentally and emotionally, I'm doing my best to stay stable and to not let it take me out of center, or not let me forget what the purpose of all of this is, because there are a lot of opportunities out there. There are a lot of jobs, and don't get me wrong. I look at the listings, I look at the what's out there, but I'm battling between like my dreams and reality. I think that's what it's come down to, is battling between my dreams and reality, and how I can blend the two without losing myself completely, without compromising too much of myself for the sake of um, just getting to the money, or just getting to the milestones of data on YouTube, reaching my watch hours, stuff like that. That's a part of the process, but it's not the only reason I'm doing this. But sometimes I let that come to the forefront and be my only reason why I do these things. And I think that's what hurts me, is the fact that I make it about that versus just remembering, like, this is bigger than me. This is beyond me. And that when the money is ready to come to me, it will find me. In terms of how I handled my debt, I definitely don't ignore it. But sometimes when you're working on it and it just doesn't seem to be going away as quickly as you want, when you do get those email reminders, or those letters in the mail where it's like, you still have this balance, it can get very overwhelming and discouraging. And sometimes when you're feeling like you've been the most responsible you've been in your life, you've been the most consistent in your life, something will come along and just test you and challenge you and discourage you. Like this morning, I was calculating, the money I have in my account right now, and like deducting my bills and stuff like that, and just thinking about what I have coming up. And then a random subscription I'd completely forgotten about, that I thought I turned off, hit my account. Granted, it was $17, but still, that's $17 that could have gone to something more productive versus something I do not need. I do not need. In fact, I canceled it, thankfully. I'm going to try to return it once it does get here. But now it's like, that put a wrench in my plans, and I told myself yesterday, I was like, don't check your phone. Don't check your social media when you're in bed. Don't check your emails when you're in bed. Don't check your bank account when you're in bed. Because it really shifts my whole energy in the morning. And it feels like I'm now climbing an impossible mountain. So I need to get better at waking up and just doing my morning routine and not wavering from that. And being disciplined with the rules I've set for myself and the boundaries because I made the mistake of checking my email because I didn't feel like getting out of bed right away. I woke up really early and I was still kind of tired and cold. So I stayed in bed, and I did part of my morning routine, but the other part of my morning routine, I need to be in this room. And I just didn't feel like getting out of bed yet. So I was like, oh, let me check my email. No harm, no foul. Well, I was wrong. There was some harm and there was some foul. I checked my email and I saw that I had that bank charge. And I was just like, what? What? I thought I canceled all these subscriptions because I've been very good and diligent about combing through everything that I pay for, that I owe. Just a couple years ago, I was paying $300 a year for subscriptions that I wasn't even using. But because I was so lazy and just unaware and like money was flowing in, I just was unbothered. But then when the money started to slow down and the opportunity started to slow down and my mindset started to shift, and I would see these charges and I'd be like, whoa, 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 why do I have two Microsoft Office accounts? Like, I just got charged for this. I just paid for this like 6 months ago. I could have sworn I paid for it for a whole year. So I did some research, did some digging, and I realized I had two separate accounts under two different emails, two different bank cards. And that's the work I've been doing for the past couple of years. And I feel like now it's like I'm ready for the income part to take charge versus me constantly like doing this uphill battle with my debt. And it's a lot of mindset work. It's a lot of just like how you speak to yourself, what you believe, your insecurities, your experiences in the past with money. Because for me, I'm not above getting a job, but when you've been self-employed for 8+ years and you know you're fully capable of maintaining this life and you've figured it out. I feel like I figured it out, but then when I have seasons where but I'm still experiencing new seasons where things are just like super down. And it's not always like me that's down. Like my mood, my attitude is like, yeah, like dang, like here we go again. But I'm a lot quicker to get up and, dust myself off and say, okay, where do we need to make some changes? Where do we need to make some sacrifices or pause some things or, not do this or that? And I don't like that. But it hasn't been enough fuel for me to push myself to go harder. I don't know if that makes sense, but finding it's not finding, it's just like I just feel like I've started over. Like I feel like I've started completely over in my 40s from like every aspect, like just my relationships, my friendships, my business, my mindsets about, you know, family, friends, work, money, myself, even how I take care of myself. My motto I always say is care for yourself, care for your wealth. And the reason I say self first is because there's no point in making the money if you can't enjoy it or you can't take care of yourself, by staying on top of your bills or your debts or even your investments or your savings. Even in times like I've been pushing myself for the past 3 years because I maxed out all of my credit cards. I maxed out all of my I took out all of my stocks, my crypto, my bonds, because in 2024, I was like, I'm going through something. I don't know what this shift is. I don't know what this change is, but everything feels like it's crumbling. And my income was starting to slow down. Thank God I had a savings because I wouldn't have been able to sustain. Like, no joke. I got to the very end of 2024 and my bank account was at zero. I was just like, what? It was at zero. I got into debt because I needed a lot of dental work from a previous accident almost 2 decades ago. That, just wear and tear on my mouth, it finally caught up to me. So that got me back into debt, some depression because I wasn't feeling like myself physically. And then when you don't feel like yourself physically, emotionally, you're just like, for me, I was just like, I don't know how I barely showed face. I just didn't feel like myself. And that impacted my work, my attitude towards work, which then impacted my financial situation. And that was in 2022. And then 2023, I'm grieving. 2024, I'm about to be 40, and everything just starts to crumble beneath me. So it's like, in a way, it was good because I needed that starting over point in my life, because now I feel like today, where I'm at today, even though financially I'm probably not, I want to be better financially. I want to be better off financially. I'm doing more of what I love and enjoy. Whereas in the past, I would compromise this, going live, creating content, doing interviews. I'd compromise it because it wasn't giving me money. So I wouldn't do it. And I've been consistently posting on this YouTube channel since last year. I made a promise to myself. I'm going to release a video every single week and not worry about the outcome. But I'm going to check in. I'm going to make sure that my videos are getting better. I'm going to do research. I'm going to study how to make to improve the quality, the lighting, the sound, which is why I have my microphone. I have a light. I make sure everything is just set up to where I get better each video. But not just that, not just fulfilling my own goals, but remembering these videos are not for me. They're for you all that are watching, whether you're here live or watching the replay. So whatever you're trying to do in your life, like, yes, fulfill it for you, but also how is it helping others and making other people better in the long run? Take care of yourself first, for sure. But is your heart and your soul telling you something bigger? Like there's something bigger for you. And how can you battle and fight your way through to make that happen? Little by little, of course, little chunks, little steps, one by one. Because I definitely get caught up in trying to do everything all at once instead of just one step at a time, one video at a time, one live stream at a time, one person at a time, reaching one person at a time, and making that be okay. So yeah, I wasn't going to go live today, but something said, you know what, just do it. Because you talk about being a full-time YouTuber, but then you skip the day you're supposed to go live. Come on now. But so for anyone in here, if you're in here, if you have any questions or you just want to say hi, you just wanted to hang out, I'm doing my first group coaching session today. It is for paid members. So if you are a paid member of my community, then I'll see you guys later. I'm supposed to do another interview later today. I had a cancellation earlier this week. I had 2 cancellations for interviews this week. So hopefully this one goes through and I can get that interview locked in, and then I'll probably post it after Labor Day because it's pretty much the end of August already. But I'm doing an interview later today. Then we have our first group coaching session. It's going to be on Zoom. So if you already paid for the membership, you'll get access to that Zoom. And yeah, I'm excited to meet you guys in person, face to face. I know I've spoken to many of you already, but to do it in a group setting is something I've been wanting to do. And we're starting off, I said I was going to do it and I did it, and now it's happening. I told, I go live and I tell you guys, like, well, I don't tell you guys, but I ask for your feedback. I say, what do you guys want? What do you guys need? And a few people were like, group coaching. And I said, okay, let's give it a try. And I wouldn't have found that out if I didn't go live. And like I mentioned earlier, I compromised a lot of what I enjoyed and loved doing because it wasn't giving me a check. It wasn't paying me. I had that attitude, like, pay me or pay me, no, never mind. When in actuality, I was not taking care of myself by skipping and compromising work that I actually love and enjoy, regardless of the outcome or the payment. And I almost skipped today's live stream. And I said, someone might need to hear from me, or someone might need just the comfort of having me live or just on the replay. When you guys watch the replay, whatever I said today, maybe it will impact you. And at minimum, I want to go live at least 20 minutes. My biggest concern that got in my head as to why I wasn't going to go live was because I didn't want to do too much. That was what popped in my head. I was like, I don't want to post so much, and then I, oversaturate your feed, and you see me so much that you don't want to participate in my other stuff, and that was my limiting mindset this morning. And 20 minutes ago, because I'm about to hit the 21-minute mark, I said, I saw a video on TikTok that was like, if you have a calling on you, like you have to show up for it. You have to answer the call. And I almost didn't go live, but I'm so glad that I did. I am going to wrap this one up because I do have to get started with my day. I mean, you guys can work alongside me, but for anyone watching the replay, you can just cut the video out right here. I'm either going to end this live or just stay on for a couple more minutes. But if anyone has any comments or questions or just want to say hi, let me know. But if not, I'm going to log out, and you guys have a great rest of your day. I'm going to pop in again tonight for a few minutes. Hopefully by then I have figured out how to connect TikTok to my streaming platform so I can go live on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. Right now I have Twitch and TikTok live, connected. So if you prefer Twitch, everything is under the name Transaction Care. Oh, also my newsletter goes out today. So let's just start over. Make sure you go watch the video that I released on Monday. It's an interview I did with another TC, Stephanie Adair. Tuesday we went live. The replay is under the live tab, which is where this live stream is going to be. Yesterday was Wednesday. I usually do a lot of coaching sessions. So if you want to work with me one-on-one, schedule a discovery call, or, DM me, email me, comment in this video if you want to work with me one-on-one. I do customize services and coaching and mentoring to your needs. But if you want to explore more options, visit my community. So everything is transactioncare.com. And then you can go to the community tab and it'll take you to my membership program. Thursdays, I go live. I think I'm going to make it a goal to go live longer. But for now, I just want to get in the habit of making this my morning routine on Thursdays. I'm having a little bit of trouble committing to this Thursday morning spot, but that's on me. That's not on you guys. And I think instead of making this too big in my head, I just need to maybe give it like a theme, like Thursday talks or something like that. Like, motivational Thursday or something like that. Because when I don't know my next steps, I'm more likely to do nothing. Versus if I have an idea or I'm a bit or a lot more prepared, I'm a lot more likely to show up. So the moment I felt that spark and that reminder to go live, I already had an idea of what I was going to say. And I said, let me just go talk about that for the next minute. Okay, the next 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Now we're almost at 30 minutes. So thank you guys for watching. I thank you so much for joining me this morning. I am going to log out. I don't want to hold you guys too much longer. Join me for our official live every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But if you are watching the replay and the morning and or night schedule works best for you, then Thursdays is the place to be. Turn on your notifications. Make sure you are subscribed and visit my website, transactioncare.com. Everything lives there for you to follow me, learn about me, and get in touch with me. So thank you again for watching this live stream. It's been amazing. I'm so glad I said, yes, I'm going to go live. I almost skipped it, but I'm so glad I didn't. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful evening, and care for yourself, care for your wealth. Your time is worth it. Let's coordinate. Talk soon. Oh, and I moved my office around a little bit, added my poster behind me. So, marketing, that frame is super heavy. So, which is why it's not mounted on my wall, because these are older walls, and tacks and light things can hang, like this canvas. No, wait, where is it? This canvas photo is good, but that frame is super heavy. So I need to find an alternative so I can post it a little higher. But let me know if you guys like it, if I should move it. But thank you again for watching. Have a great day. See ya. And go check out my other content. There's so much to learn, so much to talk about. See ya.